Aaron Keller recently responded to a post about Anran's beachside skin. He said, and I quote, "We heard you wanted these nails a little longer. The short nails on Anran's beachside skin were a bug. The fix should be in by season 4. And wow, I must say, fantastic job, Mr. Keller. My game is still stuttering every 5 seconds. The game is so unbelievably fun. I love Mauga, I love Hog, I love Zarya, I love Kaz. And while there are a myriad of other things going on with this game, I think we are all getting the same vibe. I don't know if Blizzard even know where they want to go with this game at all. Now, I know the people making skins aren't the same people working on performance or balance, and fixing a character's nails doesn't mean Blizzard chose that instead of fixing the rest of the game. What bothers me is how these problems are explained. The skin got one quick tweet answer while we face bigger issues and we have to piece them together, go into forums, go into Reddit, go into streams, go into community subreddits, all of this, just trying to find one answer from Blizzard. If we have to do that just to understand Blizzard's plan, then Blizzard isn't explaining their plan well enough. The 5v5 and 6v6 debate is exactly what I'm talking about. I can enjoy either one, and I don't think changing the number of tanks will suddenly fix everything. I mainly want Blizzard to choose a direction and explain it. People talk about 5v5 and 6v6 as if choosing one will fix everything. I think the bigger problem is that it feels like some heroes are built for 5v5 while others feel like they belong in 6v6. And you gotta look no further than the tanks. In 6v6, the tanks were built to share that work. When Blizzard moved them into 5v5, some of their kits weren't strong enough to do the whole job of peeling and putting pressure and creating space by themselves. So we end up with things like Zarya having 2 bubbles, or D.Va Matrix lasting 15 seconds while she can fly around bumping into you infinitely. Changes help like old 6v6 tanks survive as the only tank, but they make those heroes so oppressive because you can't do anything against them. It's miserable to play against Zarya. It's miserable to play against a D.Va if you don't counter swap. For me, hero balance would come down to the type of play that Blizzard want to reward. I would rather learn an expressive hero than win by picking something that makes the match miserable for everyone but it's super simple for me to play. For me, Mauga feels so boring because then we get games where there's these 2 unkillable Maugas just spamming at each other in main for 10 minutes, neither of them dying. We have to wait for a support to swap or wait for one of the DPS to swap. You have to get a counter going, and it's like these kind of matches and fights are so boring. They get rid of the interest in play that we have in Overwatch. I prefer the more expressive heroes. I prefer playing Doomfist over Orisa and Mauga. I prefer playing Tracer or Ball or even Ana to an extent, because they give us different ways to approach a situation. Their movement, their timing, their aim and decision making leave room for us to do what we want, to build our own style. So getting better actually changes what we do. There's a skill ceiling to playing these heroes compared to playing someone like Mauga or Orisa. And these heroes shouldn't always be strong, and they can be horrible to face, I understand. My issue is what gets nerfed. You're weakening their movement, their options. And this isn't limited to just the tanks. We've got DPSs like Cassidy and Ashe and Soldier, especially these hit scan on console where the aim assist is so strong, where there's nothing you can do. I actually believe that console and PC are 2 different games. If you play them both, you'll realize what I mean. Hit scan is so broken, and the aim assist, and there's so many more cheaters with Cronus and Zim and all of this, but that's a topic for another time. Cassidy especially, his flashbang kills the game. His hero design is him getting value by limiting what everyone else is allowed to do. If his whole thing is just to remove other characters' options with a flashbang, with his silver bullet, you know, he stops Tracer from having fun, he stops you from playing Doomfist, he stops you from playing Genji. Of course you can play around them when you're skilled, but it doesn't change the fact that Cassidy is a hard counter for a lot of these characters. Now, I don't expect every change in every patch to go my way. I want Blizzard rather to explain what kind of of heroes Overwatch should reward and then balance around that idea. Me personally, I think the player base has had enough of seeing new Mercy Juno skins every week while we have the same glitches. This stutter and the frame drop problems are still here on PC, making the game basically unplayable. I've only been playing console. Overwatch always seems ready to sell us something new, a mythic, flipping a new collab. Cosmetics are still getting constant attention while serious bugs feel like something we're expected just to put up with. We shouldn't get clearer updates about a character's nail length than stutters that can sell your entire game. Blizzard needs to show us that keeping Overwatch working and fun matters more than keeping the shop full with new skins. Until we get a clear roadmap of what Blizzard is wanting to do with their game, it doesn't matter 5v5, 6v6, whether the format's 2-2-2 or 1-3-2 or whatever they can figure out, whatever other genius idea they may have, we still have core issues that lay within the game that still haven't been resolved since the introduction of 5v5. So if you guys agree or disagree, either one, I don't care, subscribe. And also comment if you disagree with me. Maybe I said something wrong. You guys might know better than me.